So you want to be consistent on reading your Bible? Well, stay tuned. I might just have a plan for you. So you want to be consistent in reading your Bible, right? You're wondering, hey, how do I stay on track? I've been there. I've been there actually quite a few times in my life where you get, and you might be able to relate to this, where you get really into the mode. You're reading daily. You have this rhythm going on. And all of a sudden, it breaks, right? It just breaks. You just fall, and all of a sudden, a couple of days go by, and you're wondering what happened. Maybe for some, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Maybe some of you, a couple of years, or even others, this may be your first time wanting just to read the Bible. Wherever you're at in your journey, I want to share with you this one specific point that really pops out, and that is, it's not too late. You do have time. You do have time until you don't have no time, right? But for now, if you're listening to this at this point, I think you're pretty interested. So let me give you a few areas where you can literally stay consistent and hopefully stay on track on reading your Bible on a daily. So number one, it starts off with relationship. Yeah, you probably heard other people have said this, and it's absolutely true. We're not reinventing the wheel here, but it does start with the relationship with God. What is your desire? Is your desire to be a part of His life, to get to know Him? Well, if you're listening this far, I think you're pretty much there. So just stay tuned. There's a few more I want to go over. But the desire of knowing God is something very special. My desire was to get to know Him. I'll give you an example. I met my wife quite a few years ago, probably about 30 years ago or so. But nevertheless, we met, and I found her attractive. She was appealing. I said, wow, how do I get her number? How do I get her name? How do I just meet this young woman, right? So sure enough, we got to meet. We start to talk. Back in those days, we had phones that plugged into the wall, so you had to stay on the phone that way. We didn't have all these cell phones and all, nothing like that. But that being said, I'm kind of veering off here. But that being said, I want to know, what was her favorite color? What does she like to eat? Does she have a favorite place that she wanted to be at? What was her favorite music, her song? The list went on and on and on. And as I was asking these questions, she was asking these questions to me. And all of a sudden, something started to grow. Our hearts started to grow fonder. It took some time, but eventually we got there, to the point that I just could not live without her. Some of you probably can relate to that. But that's the same thing with God. What is He like? What gets Him going? Does He have a favorite food? Does He not? Who is this God that created everything? I want to get to know you, God. Those are the questions. So how did I do that? Well, I had to get to know Him by opening up His Bible, right? That's why you and I are here right now, and you're listening to this video. So you get to know Him by reading His Word. So from there, you'll see that growth take place. Now, that being said, that relationship starts to grow. Well, you have to set the stage. You have to. So that's number two, setting the stage. Just like a job that you have to go to, maybe Monday through Friday or whatever your hours are, you start at a certain time and you end at a certain time. Well, you begin to set the stage in Bible reading by building those simple habits, right? Get in those habits of knowing that this is something that has to be done, right? What also I would like to recommend with that setting the stage is, sometimes we have our phones, which are great. We can read a Bible verse, but I really recommend just getting a Bible, getting a physical Bible that you can actually feel, touch, and go through. You can write up on and put your notes and all that fun stuff on there. But definitely set that stage that this is something that you have to do no matter what. So that was number two. Number three would be what we call habit stacking. Okay, so what do I mean by habit stacking? Well, it's quite simple. Whatever you're doing, just add a Bible study to it, Bible reading to it, prayer time to it. You get what I'm saying? So let me paint the picture for you just a bit. So maybe find yourself doing something in the morning by maybe reading your newspaper. Well, instead of reading your newspaper, Maybe read your Bible, right? You're already there, you're already sitting there. Maybe it's lunchtime and you get 30, 45 an hour, and while you're eating, you open up and you start reading your Bible. There's something special, like I mentioned, when you have a physical Bible with you, because now you know it's right there. Maybe others are seeing, and you have responsibility to open that up because it's there. It's just not a paperweight. Unlike your phone, you can get easily distracted, right? And when you get distracted, well, other things pop up and then you kind of sway away from reading your Bible. So what I would recommend is stack it. For me, this is my routine. I get up early in the morning. I make my coffee. I have my coffee. I sit down and I spend that time for an hour or so reading my Bible, preparing my brain for the day. So I stack it with something. Maybe it's breakfast for you, whatever you find that you can put it together. It works really well. Number four is review. See the change. See where you've been, where you're at, and where you want to go. It's okay to give yourself some grace period. Grace period is fine. Oh, wow, I missed a day. Well, don't be too hard on yourself. I know that's not the plan. We don't want to miss a day. But think of it like this. If your wife or if your husband wasn't around for that day, wouldn't you miss him? Wouldn't you want to pick up the phone and call him? Maybe he's out on work on a few days somewhere and you want to give him a call. Why? Because you miss that connection. Same thing with the Bible. If we miss that day, here goes that relationship that pops in. Because of the relationship that you've established with God and where it's going, oh, wow, you're going to want to continue on. You're not going to want to look back. You're going to want to continue on with that. Because breaking it down from 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? From relationship to setting that stage to habit stacking and last but not least review, you have relationship that comes full circle. Since you're setting up that stage, you're going to make the time for him. You're going to stack it no matter what you're doing. You're going to bring him along with it. And then finally, you're going to get to review it to see where's my progress at and how can I even grow more? How can I do better? What else can I do? Because that's a love relationship like none other. But it always starts with relationship. So those are my 4 simple to-dos, my simple shifts to getting you to read your Bible more consistently. I promise you, if you stick with it, it will turn out for the best. Well, until next time, talk to you soon.